All right. Hello. Welcome everyone to the Rise and Fit team call. We are blessed and honored to have Miss Lauren Lundberg, a diamond on Happy and Fit, join us tonight. She's going to be sharing some Instagram tips. And we were just talking about how we were on a team call last night for Happy and Fit, the best practices from leadership and the diamond retreat. And it was amazing. So if you've not listened to that, please go give that one a listen as well. But we're just going to let Lauren take the show and teach us about Instagram and why it's all the rave and all the things that we can do to get connected to people specifically in our niche, in our avatar, but also kind of like branching into a little bit more to maybe go to the UK, because if Beachbody's gone there, have you? Good question, right? All right. So Lauren does a really good job with this and connecting to all her mums out there and has got quite the following in the UK already. So I'm going to mute myself, and Lauren, you take it away.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I want to let you guys know that if you guys have questions throughout, you can either put them in the chat or ask as needed. I'm here to help you guys. So if I'm, going too general, let me know. I just have found a love for Instagram, and I've less and less stopped. I haven't been posting very much in Facebook because Instagram is just where I've gotten the most traction. Like Kim said, I feel like I can really pinpoint my avatar on there. And really a big reason of why I started going to Instagram was as I was building my team, I really noticed we are having a lot of the same warm market. And for me, warm market was really easy. And I kind of wanted to give my coaches more of an opportunity to start building their teams. And so I just took that as a way to find something different, find people that I don't know. And it has just really grown over the last couple of years. So a couple of Instagram basics. Instagram, it's pictures are huge with them, and you're like, duh, everyone, there's always a picture. But what I mean is you need to really have clear, bright, pretty pictures. I recently just shared with the diamonds that app that I really love using for finding a good filter is called Pick, Tap, Go. Pick, you take a picture, tap, go. And I like this app because you can layer different filters. So if you need, brighter mixed with contrast, or, you really want to color pop, you can use as many filters as you want. I really enjoyed using that one. Single photos work a lot better than using multiple photos. And if you have multiple photos you want to share, you can actually do multiples, but without putting them in a collage. So people can swipe to see them. And I would really recommend doing that, just because when you're scrolling through Instagram, or if you were to end up on the explore page, you want something that sticks out to your audience. And you can always add on more clips, and you could even mention it in your post, swipe right to see, I've done that before with Kenzie, she did something funny and I'm swipe right to see what happened. And you want to build more engagement with them and draw them into your picture. If you really struggle with having good lighting in your house, I would recommend getting a selfie light. You can get them right on Amazon. I think Sarah Morrison said that hers is called a Diva light. I didn't actually go and look at it. I intended to, it just didn't happen. But if you need that, they definitely make it easier to have a brighter, clearer picture.
Her Diva light is huge. It's
Is it?
It's not one that you clip on your phone. It's this big. I've seen it before. She's turned her computer. I was like, what? So you may not want a Diva light, but the ones that you can clip on your phone are nice.
Right. Well, and always remember, if you make that investment, it's a tax write-off. So always worth it to invest in it. It really is. You're going to draw more people in by having those pretty pictures. So, okay. So my biggest, I have so many suggestions. We're going to get into actually finding your avatar, drawing a crowd, and just getting people interested in following you. So I actually pulled up my Instagram page. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so here's my Instagram. Notice, like I said, they're bright, clear pictures for the most part. I might have a couple once in a while that aren't like up to par. Like, I'm pretty picky about it. But I want to know right now, what color pops out most to you right now? Anyone? Which one's the most eye-catching or appealing to you? I forget, I can't see yours.
Well, I'm guessing the jumping picture is the brightest.
Okay. Yep, that one's definitely bright. Any other ones that are really popping out to you?
The one with the white one with the circle at the very top?
Yes. So,
bright white.
Yep, bright white. Blue is the most attractive color on Instagram. You don't have to wear blue every time, but when you edit your pictures, there's a spot where you can actually go in, and you've probably seen the colors filter. How many of you have scrolled past that a million times and are like, oh my gosh, I don't want color in my picture? Me too. I actually started following a social media expert on YouTube. I subscribed to her channel, and she said that blue is the most appealing, and you can go into that colors and just adjust it so it's like at 7 on the blue. So I'll do like blue highlight or like the navy blue contrast. So play around with those. Blue are definitely is the most eye-catching. Okay, and then the other part on here is really pay attention to the activity you're getting on your posts. I'll get into like the conversational piece later, but like looking at how many likes you're getting. And I know it's not all about likes or comments, but you can really get an idea of what people enjoy following you for. For me, I get less traction on the fitness stuff. I get less traction on coaching. I get a lot of traction on my daughter, on my dog. And it's so funny because when I first started coaching, everyone's like, nobody wants to see your dog. They want to see you. Like, you know, you need to be present in that way. But it's really important to really mix it up. At least this is what I found for me. Like, do what works for you. Take what you want from this. But I have found my followers follow me for Kenzie. And so I need to make sure every once in a while I'm throwing in picture. By the way, look at her as an old lady. Like, I still can't get over that. It cracks me up. But it's so important to really like look at why people follow you. And here's my philosophy on that is all of my followers know I'm a health and fitness coach because I mention it in at least one of those 12 photos that pops up on your phone. At least one of them I'm talking about fitness or talking about how I'm a coach. So I know that when my followers are ready, they're going to reach out to me. And that was a big thing that we talked about this weekend was making the workload easier for you and making yourself be so approachable, so trustworthy that when someone is ready, they will contact you. Cold invites, they're just not working the same way that they were before. And a big reason is because, especially on Facebook, there are so many network marketers that everyone just feels like they're being sold to all the time. So just share your journey, share your process. You guys know that, you know, just keep being you, but show different layers of your life. And I don't want you to compare yourself to me with how many followers I have or the crazy story that I have. Like, you can still build a solid relationship, solid connections with people without a heartbreaking story like I have. Okay, so don't start thinking that like it's completely possible. So, okay, when you do an invite on Instagram, make sure that you add at the end US, Canada, or UK only. I cannot tell you how much time I've wasted on conversations with people who live in a country that we don't serve yet. Time wasted. So get in the habit now. US, Canada, and UK only. And then curiosity marketing is huge. I really want to urge you to stop taking the Shakeology selfies. And if you do, turn your bottle around so they can't read Shakeology. Talk about the value of it. I just did a post tonight. Let me see what I said. I just want to share this with you because I feel like more examples are better. Of course, my phone's being slow. Okay. So that picture with the circle that says, who wants to stay healthy? I said, I have something I've been working on and I'm so excited to test it out. I've been asking a lot of you what your biggest struggles are with staying consistent with exercise and healthy eating. And I've taken your feedback and creating something awesome. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could get a result and keep them? I want to have everything prepared and ready to go for January, but I'm looking for a handful of people to test this process out with me so we can get a positive experience for everyone coming the new year. Comment below if you want in my trial group, of course, US, Canada, and UK only. So they have no idea what it's going to take to get in this group, but I'm speaking to the person who struggles with keeping their results. And that's like the biggest thing, a pain point for my avatar when it comes to fitness and nutrition. Curiosity marketing is awesome. The other thing I want to say about Instagram, and a big reason of why I'm posting a lot more there than on Facebook, is I'm like the queen of being vulnerable. And being vulnerable is so much better on Instagram than it is Facebook. I feel like I can really explain how I'm feeling on Instagram, and my avatar, the people who go through, like for me, my biggest avatar right now, aside from health and fitness, is stay-at-home moms and preemie moms, NICU moms, you know, people who've been through a lot with their kids. And so I forget where I was going with that, but just speaking to that person. So I'll be really vulnerable and do a post where those people understand what I'm talking about. And I know it's a good post when someone will reach out to me and say, thank you for sharing your thoughts on this. I feel the exact same way. Like, it's okay that they're not talking to me about fitness because I know that they trusted with me, reach out to me. So don't get hung up on, like, think of delayed results. Like, you need to, on Instagram, I view it as like, I'm building these relationships with these people. They're my future tribe. I'm not going to rush them into this. They're going to join me when they're ready because they see how positive I've been able to be through the lows in life. And that's just kind of how I've been with that. So just general Instagram. Does anybody have any questions that I maybe haven't covered yet? I'll get to stories and tags and hashtags, that kind of stuff coming up here in a bit. Just general posts.
One thing that I struggle with a little bit is, like, in Facebook, I've gotten really used to making like the long posts, and they don't always fit on Instagram, and that's annoying to me. So I either need to, have you seen a lot? I mean, I've seen this a couple times when I'm like scrolling through people and like friending requests and stuff, like that they do part of it and then they say the rest is in the comments and then they put the next. Is that what we should be doing if we're long-winded like me?
Yep. Okay. If it's too long, and you can just make like a note on there, you know, like you said, rest of it is in the next story. I was also going to say, so raise your hand if you've ever noticed with Instagram, like sometimes it clumps your entire text together. Okay, so here's a solution for that. And I just learned that from that gal that I started following on YouTube. It does that when you have an emoji at the end of a sentence, at the end of a paragraph. So if you put even like a parenthesis next to it or a period next to an emoji, it'll keep it broken down. So just a tip there.
That's good to know. I usually try to put a period in between my paragraphs as well. Like I saw that on Melanie Mitro's thing once.
That's probably why she does it.
Yeah. Just hit return, period, hit return.
Right. Yeah. Any other questions just on general posting on here? No?
What kinds of hashtags do you use? How many of them?
You can use 30 hashtags. However, this is what I'm going to say about hashtags because my mindset has really changed on them. When I first started Instagram, I was trying to get as many followers as I could get. And so I would use all 30 hashtags, and I would actually put them in the first comment instead of putting them all on my original post. But I'm kind of tweaking the way that I do things. And here's why. First off, I felt like I wasn't really getting a whole lot of traction from posting those hashtags. Like I felt like from spending all that time, and you can actually put them in a note and just copy and paste if you do prefer to do that. But I felt like I wasn't really getting as many followers as I could have been. And my thought process is you're trying to find your avatar. Your avatar is not trying to find you. So using hashtags, like it's like a gamble. Your avatar might find you, they might not find you. So here's what I suggest instead. Find the hashtags that relate to you and then go comment on people who use that hashtag. And I'm actually going to give you a process for this that you can use in your power hour. Julianne taught us this weekend. So using a hashtag, you can use locations. I'll talk about that separately. Sorry, I'm like scrambled eggs brain over here. Okay, so find a hashtag that relates to you. So for me, like it would be preemie. So I'd go to a preemie hashtag and I would follow a person who looks like they fit my avatar. I'd follow them right away. I would like 5 of their photos and I would comment on 1. So if you can like fit this into your avatar and just do that 5 times a day to like 5 new followers, 5 to 10, depending on how long it takes you, spend 5 minutes doing that. Another thing with hashtags is, and if you're actually going and pursuing those hashtags, this is going to be a lot easier. This is more so if you're posting the hashtags on your pictures, actually go look at those hashtags. Who is using them? The biggest time waster is using something like Fit Mom or, and that's just a general, like it can be anything. In UK Fit Fam, if you go look at those hashtags, they're all Beachbody coaches using those hashtags. We kind of ruined, the Beachbody coaches ruined the UK Fit Fam because you'd start scrolling and I started going to those hashtags and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know which one's a US coach and which one's like a potential, like you actually have to go look at the profiles. So yeah, and some hashtags definitely are not what they think they would be. I agree. You definitely have to go look and the goal is to find your avatar. So just make sure that they look like a good fit to you. So, and I actually, when I did this talk with my team, I actually had them do an assignment where they wrote down 30 hashtags that they could use. So maybe that's something that you guys want to do just so you have an idea of hashtags that fit your avatar. So you can also, so I talked hashtags, you can also search locations. So if you have like a favorite coffee shop that you like to go to, or you're a fall addict like me and you like going to the pumpkin patch, you can actually go to that location and do that same process. Follow, like 5, comment 1, and just connect with people around you. Let's see. Any questions on hashtags? Okay. So next part is stories. Raise your hand if you've actively tried stories. I know I've watched Kim, I've watched Amanda's before. I don't know. I don't think I've seen the rest of yours. Okay, so Instagram stories are huge. If you're on Snapchat, you need to get off Snapchat and you need to get on Instagram stories because you can expand your network on Instagram stories, whereas Snapchat, you really kind of had to promote your own Snapchat. So, my biggest advice here is try not to do more than 3 to 4 talking stories in a row. I just know this from personal experience. If they are longer than that, I tend to tap out of them. I don't enjoy watching them past that point. You really have to draw people in within those. Ask questions. And this is with general Instagram too. I can't even tell you how many times I just ask people for their opinion when honestly, like, I can go search it like a favorite product or something on Amazon. But if you can engage people, do it. And comment back to them. Let them know that you're taking in their feedback. So and I was gonna say, if you have more than 3 to 4 talking slides that you want to do, just go live instead. Yes, questions are awesome. Okay, so show your sense of humor. I feel like your avatar is just gonna get you. And if you let's say I talk about pumping all the time, and I'm like, if people are offended by it, you're not part of my avatar. I'm sorry, like I don't care. I'm just really bold about what I do, and I'm like, this is me. I would want to follow me if I talked about this, like just being funny about certain things. And then be consistent with it. And I know I still struggle with this with Instagram stories. I'll get to like 5 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't done any stories. And then, so this weekend, they actually challenge us to invite 1 time per day on Instagram stories. And I don't want you to overthink that. It doesn't have to be like invite to coaching every single time, but it could be something like you post a picture of like, let's say this Zoom, and you say, wouldn't it be cool, like how fun is it to have a fun, like a positive community to brainstorm or mastermind with at night, like once a week? Or wouldn't fitness be so much more fun if you had a group of people cheering you on? So like, it doesn't have to be like, become a coach, come join my team. Like it can be little, just like ideas in their head. And then polls. Oh my gosh, polls are awesome. I love them. I did a poll last month about clean week, and I did 3 talking stories in a row, and I broke it down. I was so clear. I said, you know, if you're someone who has been watching me for a while and you're wondering if you'd be interested in doing this, but you're not quite ready to take on a 30-day group, I have a 7-day group coming up. Here's what you get. It's $30. And then next post was like, are you in? Yes or no? And everyone who clicked yes, I sent them a message. I got their email. And now you can use a canned response. If you haven't watched that video, watch it, implement it. Super easy. So that poll, or even just interacting with people, is going to be so much easier. So yeah, I always get people's emails on Instagram. It just works better that way. Let's see. I think that's all I have on stories. Oh, and on stories you can add a location, and you'll show up in the, I guess I don't exactly know how that works, but I know that like you show up in locations somewhere. I don't know if it's that location story. But I've gotten more traction that way, and I actually have gotten some followers by tagging the location. Or and for me, I live in small town. I live in Gilbert, Iowa. I do not tag Gilbert, Iowa. I don't want my 16,000 followers to know where I live. So I tag either Iowa or Des Moines, Iowa. So like, just to clarify, I'm like, creepers, stay away, because there are definitely some creepers on Instagram. So I feel like there was something else I was going to talk about and I forgot. I feel like my brain is still like on overload from this weekend, so I apologize if I'm really choppy tonight. Oh, I wanted to say this too, about being interactive. I know that I already kind of talked about making sure that you are commenting back. Interactive, like be social with people. But I'll never forget at Summit last year, Gary Vaynerchuk said, if you want to grow your business, reply to every single comment on your post for an entire year and watch your business grow. So just know that, like, just think of it as you're building that relationship, building that connection, and you'd be surprised. Like, just be yourself, and it's okay to tell how you feel. It's okay to be vulnerable, and you build so much more trust when you do that. And if you need ideas of like what I'm talking about, go read through some of my posts. I have some of the most vulnerable posts that I never thought I would post publicly until like this year. So, but don't be intimidated by that. Take baby steps. So you don't need to like jump all in and do the most vulnerable post ever. So work your way into it. So I think that's what I've got. Is there anything I left out? Any questions?
One of the tips that I took away from Julianne this weekend was, if you've not, like you've mentioned it too, like the places things, but like when you get to your Instagram, your phone, and then you go to the search tab down here, and then you tap the search button at the top again, there's top people, tags, and places. And so the things to search for are places, like Lauren mentioned, but then also like even people, like I've had some success with, like, so like people that you really click with or like you love, like I love listening to Mel Robbins. I love listening to Eric Thomas. I love listening to, you know, like those kinds of things. And so then I go find people that listen to them and where I've tagged them. And then that's more of my niche. And I've just been like really digging into that whole, like the other thing she talked about was like go to the likes. So you find one picture that you love and then you go to the likes. So I was just on this picture. It had 239 likes. And so I clicked the likes and you can see everybody that likes it. And then you can touch their picture and see who they are, what they're doing. And you can, you know, comment on their things or, you know, the 5-1 thing on them and go back and then see you. Like that's a whole list of people that are potentially like you if you like the person that you started with. So you can keep drilling deeper and getting to people.
Right? Just like think of like it's ongoing. You'll never max out on Instagram. Whereas on Facebook, right, it really is a gamble. When you friend request someone, you really don't know if they're part of your avatar until you start trying to interact with them. Like this is just so much more clear way of finding people like you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Thanks for letting me talk tonight. This was fun.
Well, thanks for sharing with us. Does anybody have any questions? We have about 6-ish minutes left of our little thing here, but we can always jump back on and ask more questions. Sure. So now you look like you have a question, maybe. No? Okay.
I was going to say really quick too, the other thing I was going to say with hashtags, another reason why I stopped putting them on my pictures or stopped posting them altogether is because I actually had a picture go viral, and the picture that went viral, I didn't have any hashtags on it. And I actually like went and Googled it later, and it said like, I don't know, I didn't know what the explore page was because I feel like when we get on Instagram, we're on a mission. But a lot of people get on the explore page, which is like random people, and it is kind of set to your avatar because I have a lot of preemie babies that show up in mine. So it just tells me like you can find people in your explore page, but at the same time, like if you have really great pictures and if you have really great interaction on a post. My post that went viral didn't have any hashtags, but it had like 175 comments, and then it popped up on the explore page, and then I I'm not kidding. I got like 8,000 followers in a week. So just know, like, your job is to find your avatar. I honestly would not put hashtags on your picture or in your comments. I would go, you do the work. You go find the hashtags, find the people who connect to you. So.
I'll ask the questions. Are stories more popular than scrolling?
What's that? Are stories more popular than scrolling? I think it depends. I think there's a good combination. And if people like you, they'll go watch your story every day. I have like the same people watch my story every day. So I think like it's starting to replace scrolling. And I truly think with Facebook, it's just become so negative that people are more drawn to Instagram because they can follow the people that they like. It's more organic that way.
And I've noticed too, like another tip that I took from Mariah this weekend was to respond to people that, like when you direct message them in a video instead of just text, which takes a little more time, but they get to hear you, they get to see you, they get to, know that you're, genuine and not like just copying and pasting random stuff to people. And then if they respond, you respond back to them with a video so that they, again, get to see you and know you. Yeah, it's been helpful.
And I found a lot of success too, just if you haven't read the book or listened to the book, Sell or Be Sold, that book changed my mindset just as a professional. I made a Woofu form after listening to that book, and you'd be amazed of how many people, if you don't know what a Woofu form, it's basically an application, like, what are your goals? There are all the questions that you would ask in a conversation. Not only does it condense it so you have less work, but I've actually had people, like, I'm no different than anybody else. Like, I'm just your average girl in small town Iowa. I've had people comment, like, respond to me after filling out that application saying, like, if you accept me, or, if you'll take me on your team. Like, it just all of a sudden ups the ante, and all of a sudden you're a highly viewed person, or, a public figure to them almost. So if you put that work in, it's totally worth it from what I've found. So, or using the canned response, both of those. So
definitely.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We have just under 3 minutes left because I'm cheap and I don't have the paid version.
Tax write-off. Tax write-off.
I just haven't done it yet. I should. Definitely should.
I'm just
thank you, Lauren, for sharing with us tonight. And if you got something out of this, please encourage another teammate to watch this. And